Welcome, race fans, to the Racing Roundup Show. For 39 years and counting, we are your destination for news and interviews from within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for America's longest-running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd live and in person for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, gang, how are you? Glad to have you here on a Tuesday night. Looking forward to having you join us. It's September 19th, which means there's only one more show after tonight. This is the second to last. Come on down and join us. Our 39th season will conclude next Tuesday, September 26th, right here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. Join the racing crowd tonight. We got a bunch of cool things to give away after the show, a bunch of great content to give you right now on the program. Our guests will include dirt late model racer Jamie Zeider with American Foundation Specialist. Tony's here, Jamie's here. They're going racing as soon as they get their fresh engines back, and they're going to look forward to catching up with what their season's been like this year on the dirt late model scene. We also have a couple of global companies based in the upper Midwest joining us, representing Briggs & Stratton. Racing director Dan Roche is going to be here. He's already brought a couple of 206 carts out here. He's got a big display hauler out here as well. Looking forward to talking to Dan about all the things Briggs is involved in. We also have on the VP of Sales for Hoosier Tire Company coming on the program as well. Looking forward to talking to Paul Mentling about all the things he's got going on in the world of Hoosier Tire. They, as you know, they're busy this time of year with all the specials, multi-division races, and et cetera around the globe. So looking forward to talking to them. We also are going to catch up with the racing brothers Brody, Casey, Ken Sports, and trucks of all sizes. Believe me, you'll have fun listening to these three brothers go at it, as we'll have them on the program as well. And we also got a bunch of people out here with a beautiful modified, the black number 7 sitting right out front. It's Brett Wachowiak. He's got his car. He's got a bunch of people here. He just won a feature at the Dells Raceway Park in the UMA Asphalt Modifieds, and they're racing this weekend for their championship. Friday night and Saturday's a big race as well during the 3-day Midwest Championship Showdown at Dells Raceway Park. More details on that with Brett and the gang. And Bill Howland goes in the groove with another short track classic, the Jim Sauter Classic, held recently at Dells Raceway Park here on the program. So don't go anywhere, or better yet, get in the car and come on and join us. We're at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield, right across from Turn 1 of the Milwaukee Mile. We got a bunch of folks here. Looking forward to seeing you join us as well to have some fun with us, talk some racing, and have a great time on a Tuesday night. We'll be right back with this edition of the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Hey gang, Richie Bickle here. I want you to join us for the largest short track party at sea. Sail the Eastern Caribbean on the Norwegian Encore this coming January 7th to the 14th. Join Scott Hansen and myself and a bunch of other drivers on Bickle's Bon Voyage cruise. Enjoy unlimited craft beer, drinks, gourmet food. You might even get to race against us on the go-kart. We'll have a special question and answer session for the racers on board, and I know it'll be a ton of fun. Escape the January winter weather. We'll see you in the Dominican Republic, Tortola, and the Bahamas, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Sail the Caribbean with us January 7th through the 14th on Bickle's Bon Voyage. Call Mark at Making Memories Travel at 262-527-1341 or visit mymmtravel.com and click on Bickle's Bon Voyage. Link for information.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938. Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows, too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Yeah. Hey, we're back on the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to have you with us here on this Tuesday evening. Looking forward to having you join the racing crowd. Paulie's Brewer shuttles keep on going. Next Tuesday, the Brewers are back in town. You bet there's a shuttle, but there's a lot of concerts this weekend in the Milwaukee area. So Paulie's Pub and Eatery, they've got shuttles to all those as well. So stop on down, or better yet, see Paulie's Pub and Eatery on Facebook or pauliespub@eatery.com. Very active schedule with big old buses, little buses, and a way to get you there and back easy from Paulie's Pub and Eatery here at 81st and Greenfield. This segment of our show is brought to you by the Midwest Truck Series. It's supported by Widener Automotive and Pathfinder Chassis. Congrats to James Lynch on his win this past Saturday at Jefferson Speedway. Point leader James Swan and the whole gang in the Midwest Truck Series are headed in action this Sunday at Dell's Raceway Park in their makeup Icebreaker 50. For more series info, visit MidwestTruckSeries.com. We now have a very special opportunity to talk not only about this cool engine, about the two cool go-karts outside, the 18-foot trailer that's got Briggs & Stratton written all over it, but we have Milwaukee Proud Company representing the world of motorsports right here today with Racing Director for Briggs & Stratton. Let's welcome in Dan Roach. Dan, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate being here.
You and I have been in conference. Actually, Ryan down there said you need to get Dan on the show. It's kind of cool that we have a chance to get you off of your busy schedule going around the country representing Briggs.
It's all good. It's all good. I just love the racing that's going on in Milwaukee and Wisconsin and the Midwest, and I'm just proud to be able to be a little bit a part of it.
And people may not realize that, 60, 70% of everything that moves, it cuts grass, it trims bushes, it's on a vehicle that can help you with your lawn and garden equipment, is powered by Milwaukee Proud Briggs & Stratton.
Yeah, Briggs has a legendary history with applications that are really, really bizarre. We actually had a really substantial war effort, like many other companies in the area, really buckled down and did the right thing for the right reason. And we just love all these obscure, different applications, people using power in creative ways.
And speaking of powering race cars, people may not realize how many different kinds of racing vehicles that are raced around the country internationally are still powered by Briggs & Stratton engines.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a real proud heritage. The majority of our products power sprint karts, so karts that are doing typical asphalt road courses. And that's where so many of today's professional racers have come from for a lot of different reasons. But we also power the NHRA dragsters, mini dragsters.
Junior dragsters, that's
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
We're still very, very much involved in the quarter midget space, as well as a bunch of off-road products, our products that are supporting college education and so forth. It's just great to see all of it going around. Snowmobiles. So it's a full season effort as well.
Yeah, quarter midgets on. I mean, you guys got a lot going on. There's a lot to discuss. And I also want to bring up the point that I think, don't you drive one of the go-karts you brought here today down display?
Yeah, actually, one of the types of racing that we really enjoy is endurance racing. So you get yourself and a bunch of pals together, and you race around the clock. And the sprint kart that we brought here today was a kart that we participated in a 24-hour race in New Orleans.
Wow.
Kind of a sketchy weekend, too. There was terrible weather. A number of the teams just backed out. But me and 5 or 6 other guys from the factory, we campaigned that kart around, and the cumulative miles that the teams at that event created and covered is greater than the length of the equator. So together we went over 26,000 miles.
Holy
in 24 hours.
And how many karts were there? I imagine there had to be quite a few.
There were, I believe there were 40 teams.
Wow.
Yeah.
All set to go around the clock.
Absolutely. Only with one oil change, too. Yeah. So
like minimum or mandatory? What was it?
You could do as much as you want, but it takes time. So you didn't want to burn it changing oil if you didn't have to. And most of the oil came out, and most of it still looked like oil.
Yeah.
But we were racing in the rain, and the conditions were not all that great. So it was really tough on the teams and tough on the product as well. But every engine survived, and we had no breakdowns.
We are fortunate to have one of the best sprint kart tracks. I know they had an enduro event at Badger Raceway or Badger Kart Club's race. It's Millwright Raceway now, with Badger Kart Club and nearby Dousman. They had an endurance event. It all goes back to you are proving the product. How long have you raced, and did you race before working with Briggs & Stratton?
So I have some racing experience before I joined Briggs & Stratton. I was fortunate to do some road racing with the SCCA and really enjoyed that and basically cut my teeth on what does it take to get a car or a cart, to survive under maximum effort. So I parlayed that into convincing my wife that it'd be a good idea to take our kids and go-kart racing, and I had proven my point with that previous experience. And she said, okay, go for it. So, yeah, we got the kids started, and then I joined Briggs & Stratton, and then ultimately had the opportunity to continue the legacy of what we're creating by leading the racing business.
What are you involved in now or part of or proud of in most recent developments? Because I know it's an ever-evolving. You're testing stuff all the time, year-round.
Oh, absolutely. In terms of, the thing I'm most proud about with what Briggs is doing with racing is that we continue to build on the foundation that other people have built for us. There's a bunch of other guys, Dan, Dave, and a bunch of others that have always been behind this program, and they poured the cement that we're walking on. And to be able to carry the sport through COVID, and then the massive demand curve that came after COVID. It happened in a lot of different recreation spaces, but boy, did we get a lot of demand. And the temptation was to change our ways, but we stuck true with what worked and continue just to work hard with the great team we have in Milwaukee to get her done and to catch up on those orders and get those people racing.
So what would be the build process? I know the animal head was a big change when it came to four-cycle racing in karting. That was, 20 years ago now. But that's part of the evolution that keeps going on. And this engine here is another proof product that you guys develop and race what you provide to the consumer as well as racing across the world.
Exactly. We call it the 206. The Briggs 206 is a sealed program that builds off of the animal platform. The difference is that the recipe that we put into this engine creates parity across the power band. So every engine that we built is identical to the other. And what that really does is that puts all the pressure on the setup, on the driver skill, and on the strategy out on the track. It kind of takes the engine out of the equation. Everyone's basically got the same power. So can you do the best with what you got? Because it is a sealed package, and you can't really alter the things that really matter.
And because Dan Roach is the racing director, he brought along this beautiful engine, but guess what? We get to do this with it. Dan knows what it looks like on the inside. Now you guys all get to see what it looks like on the inside. This display is a engine exposed of a Briggs & Stratton 206. So for you gearheads or people like me, I was just staring at it, there's a lot of ingenuity in that little engine.
It's amazing, and every once in a while I just get blown away by how close things are that are moving very fast inside there, and how do they not, kind of just stretch a little bit and run into each other. But it's an amazing product. Our engineers have done a fantastic job with it. We've got a great supply chain that supports this, and most of all, a phenomenal, I'd say the best team to assemble these engines every day right here in Milwaukee. So we're super proud that we're building these things every day, literally every day, here in Milwaukee with a team of racers that are also just enthusiastic and knowledgeable about the product and have a skill set that lets us build this every day.
Brag a bit about your racing team. You have to whittle it down to guys that are actually going to work with you and for you to develop this, not just to say, I want a bigger, faster kart. I'm going to hide my notes. No, they're part of your team. Tell us about the Briggs & Stratton racing team.
Well, the Briggs & Stratton racing team is really, I think the key is that we are racers. And we're all into it, so we understand what's needed. We are the customer of this product. We're all believers in it. There's no convincing that, hey, we really got to be careful today. There's none of that. Everyone just absolutely gets it. And the attention to detail that they put on every component, the inspection that every component gets before it gets built into this engine is just absolutely critical. We need to know that a consumer can pull this engine out of the box, race it, and then go straight to tech, and it will pass tech. So we write the rule book. The last thing we can do is make anything that goes outside of that. So that's what our commitment is making sure that you can have an out-of-box, competitive, and legal and ready to be inspected product out there on the track.
We've had Badger Car Club racers on our show. We've had them on over the course of the last 39 years, actually. It's been a long time involvement with our program. But I also want to say, those kids at a certain point are like, you know what, I won my class. I'm going on to the next class. Now I'm not a junior anymore. I'm racing 206. How do I get on the team? How does the Briggs & Stratton team get selected? Are they racers that are proving themselves? Do they apply? I mean, if someone's watching now saying, hey, I really want to get more involved, I'm going for an engineering degree or something like that, how do they get involved with what you guys do?
Well, we're really proud that we have people that have the skill set that come in, and I wish that we could have more opportunities. But whenever we do have an opportunity, we're pretty broad about it in terms of social media. So if you want to keep tabs on that, just follow us on either Instagram at racebriggs.com or at racebriggs or on our Facebook. But yeah, I'm glad to say that we don't have the turnover, so we don't have a lot of opportunities. But thanks for bringing that up.
Well, you know, you could at some point say, you know what, this is all we need. This is everything we have to have. But then you still have everybody wanting to race it, and you still need to continue to make sure your parts are where they need to be. So is that why you still have a race team? Because this engine's been around for, 5, 6, 7 years now, right?
It's been around for longer than that.
Okay.
And I just think that speaks to the strategy of making this sport approachable. You know, racing is a very family sport, and that's one of the things we absolutely love about it, the multi-generational side of bringing grandparents and parents and kids together with a life-changing kind of experience. We love being part of that. But, you know, it's really about making sure that this product can be successful and can bring new people that don't have that legacy and still make motorsports approachable for the people who don't have all the magic buttons or don't have that uncle that does that thing in the machine shop that no one else knows about. You know, we had to demystify the motorsports side from a power perspective, and I think we've done a really, really good job with that.
And that comes with performance and consistency. I mean, that can't be favoritism. You have to be straight up saying, this is the rule. I'll be there to work with you guys. I know my experience with WKA Kart Week, for example, in Daytona, or even working with the WK Man Cup when it comes to Dousman, or having the ability to say, the tech guys at Dousman bounced his own son 3 times. I mean, that happened when Guy Schneider was back involved at Millwright Raceway, and his son Guy would be, you know, messing around with a few things, or this was out of skew, or he was 10 pounds light, whatever it was. That integrity has to be there. So I imagine that's something you guys always strive to do. How often are you guys at the track supporting the series nationally or locally?
We go to a lot of races. We've had to focus on production because of this demand. Mm-hmm. So the 2023, I would say, was probably a little bit of a dip in terms of our participation at track. But outside of that, we're going to 10, 15 races easy a year. And with us sponsoring the Motorplex at Road America, it makes it very easy to get up there and spend a lot of time at Road America, one of my favorite places on earth. And we do a lot of testing up there as well.
Okay.
So our technicians who test with us, and we'll close down the shop and go test. Also a fun perk of the job.
And that track is so universally changing, so you can actually go elevation, you can go in reverse, you can go up the hill, down a hill, you can go on that little oval. I mean, there's a lot of ways to just grind out miles and hours on these things.
I've gotten lost out there, to be honest. But yeah, it's a great track. The resurfacing is finally coming in. There's some grip out there, and it's great for karting.
And the Motorplex is a wonderful place to be. It's really cool that they do that. And the weekly shows are on, weekly racing is on, I think, 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. We mentioned about Millwright Raceway in Dousman, home of the Badger Kart Club, racing on Sundays, a lot of Saturdays as well. There are regional series. There's Route 66. There's a lot of different ways to get involved. What would be the best way for people to follow Briggs & Stratton when it comes to where you're at, what you're doing, who you're supporting?
We really focus a lot because it's such a visual sport. We really focus on Instagram.
Okay.
So we do our best with Facebook, but my default as the social media communicator for the brand is Instagram. So that's the best place to take to keep track of us, and it's Race Briggs is the handle.
Okay.
Briggs Racing, whoever has that, shame on you. But we're happy with the more active handle of Race Briggs.
And I think the emblem on the back of the trailer out front here at Polly's is something like "Chase us" at Race Briggs.
Yeah, I mean you can follow anybody, but you got to chase us.
Where are you up to next?
We've got a bunch of people heading down to the Grands, which is an all Briggs event just west of Indianapolis in a little town called Newcastle. It's a track, one of the best karting tracks around the country. You can see it straight from the freeway.
The Dismore zone, right?
Pardon me?
The Dismore family, is that the one they own?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Junior would be there. Mark's there.
Yeah.
So great family runs that place, and not this weekend, but next weekend I would say there's going to be almost 500 entrants to this race. It's the biggest race of the year, biggest race in the country, including the 2-cycle stuff. This is the biggest race, and there'll be 500 entrants racing Briggs 206 engines, which is an absolute awesome milestone for the team.
Little quick nugget, the Dismores were long involved in karting. Dismore was one of the big guys that had Comet sales. He had tires that no one else could find in the Midwest. I remember going to that shop in Indiana with my brother just to get tires. I mean, that was a big operation. Mark Dismore raced in the Indy 500. He started that go-kart track, and it's a wonderful facility. I've driven by. I've never been on it. But also his son, Mark Dismore Jr., raced out of a team in Milwaukee. He raced ASA for a year. Mark was on our show when he was racing with Howie Leto and those guys. In that 1 year, he ran I think it was the Monster.com sponsored Chevy. So it's great to see the Dismore family still involved. They are like a founding family of karting. So it speaks again to the volumes of where people want to race and who does what better. You guys always learn together.
Absolutely.
You always put the best product out there.
Right. And our dealers are the first ones that are going to tell us if we didn't get it right. So, and if you know Mark Jr., he's not shy about his opinions. So I'd hear it from him and others. So we're really grateful for our dealer network. Comet obviously is a big one.
Yep.
And others. So it's a fun business. It's challenging, but it's nice to be in the lead.
It's been great to get to know you for these 2 minutes. What I say for Dan Roach, the racing director of Briggs & Stratton. Dan, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for bringing the prop. We know we're not giving this one away. Dan's got to take it back to the showroom, but in reality, we learned a ton tonight. I hope you enjoyed this segment. Dan, thanks again.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan, for lining this up, too. He's over there. He comes to the show quite a bit, Ryan Fisher. Thanks for getting Dan involved. We're taking a commercial break. We got racers to talk to. We got Jamie Zeider talking about his dirt late model runs, and he's going indoor this winter. So we're going to tell you about some winter plans as our local season starts winding down here. Stick around to the Racing Roundup show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show. Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the NAPA Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
It's the granddaddy of short track racing in the Midwest, the 54th running of the Oktoberfest Race Weekend, October 5, 6, 7, and 8 at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Don't miss the intense competition as drivers throughout the nation converge at La Crosse Speedway for 4 days of great stock car racing. On Thursday, see 6 divisions compete, including Super Late Model, Sportsman, and double features for the La Crosse Late Models. Friday, 3 divisions will grind it out, including the Super Late Models in the popular Dick Trickle 99, a 99-lap race run in 3 33-lap segments. Then on Saturday, it's 3 divisions, including the ASA Midwest Tour Late Models. And then it's the Big 8 Late Models battling for their season championship. Sunday we'll see the vintage race cars, Late Models, plus the granddaddy of all Midwest racing events, the Oktoberfest 200. 200 grueling laps of strategy, maneuvers, and hard-charging racing. Witness challengers and champions from across the nation battle side by side. It's the 54th annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend, October 5, 6, 7, and 8 at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Save with a multi-day wristband. Visit OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com for details and advance tickets. Be there.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack-leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000. American Foundation.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome again back to the show. We're looking forward to having you join us on a Tuesday night. Matter of fact, you have one more chance next Tuesday. If you can't make it tonight, we understand. You can also watch our show anytime you like, whether it be a portion of the show, the entire show, a show in 2012. We got it all for you on our website, racingroundupshow.com. Click on live, look for the show archives. Look by the date, and here we are. Looking forward to seeing you on a Tuesday evening yet this year. You can also, if you're in the middle of winter and you're done shoveling for the day, you can always say, you know, if I want to go back and see the Vanderloop boys on that show, you can do that too. We'll have them posted on our site through our YouTube channel. RacingRoundupShow.com is where you can find them all posted there. If you're looking to sell or buy a home or commercial property, choose Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty, and the Rapina Group. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty, and the Rapina Group. Listed with Matt Rapina and his group. Knowledge is power. Higher knowledge. Visit mattrapina.com. mattrapina.com. Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters since 1961. 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and accident recovery service. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team in their fleet of heavy-duty trucks and rollbacks to work for you. The number to call, Adams Towing, 715-344-3836. That's 715-344-3836. After the show tonight, we got some great-looking T-shirts. We got some great-looking tickets to give away tonight to further entice you to show up here tonight to Polly's. We have bottles of Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup. We have 2 tickets to Dell's Raceway Park for this Friday, Saturday, or Sunday to catch the exciting Midwest Championship Showdown races, or the October 21st following 150 Alive for 5 races. We also have Jasinski Racing T-shirts from Tom and Brett Wahoviach. They actually have shirts that are team shirts. We got one hanging over here. They brought us a bunch of those to give away, so thanks to Jasinski Racing. We also have tickets to Rockford Speedway's final National Short Track Championships the weekend of September 29th through October 1. We also have tickets to the Bahama Brackets to give away tonight. That's happening in Rockford as they wind down their 76th season. We also have some cool Vanderloop Racing T-shirts, die-cast racing cars, T-shirts, and other things to give away. So if you have a chance, come on down. You can win all that stuff tonight after the show. It's now time for the Andersons Pure Maple Syrup Racing Spotlight. They're proud sponsors and supporters of Wisconsin racers Bill Baylog and Jason Gross. Try it in your coffee or tea or on your vanilla ice cream. Take it with you with Pure Fuel, maple energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer. AndersonsMapleSyrup.com is their website. They've been around since 1928. Anderson's, pure quality since 1928. This week's Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Spotlight shines on Cody, Casey, and Brady Vanderloop. Guys, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us back, Jim.
We're starting with you, Cody, because you've been on the show before.
Yep.
Can you guys tell their brothers? I don't know if you guys could tell from where you're sitting here. Can you tell they're related? I think the answer is yes. Good to see you guys all involved in racing, Cody. What's your season been like racing trucks of all sizes?
Yeah, it's been a good long season. Pretty successful at Kaukauna at the weekly track.
Oh, and a station wagon. Sorry, got to get that in there.
Yep, and the station wagon as well. Yeah, we've had a good season. Picked up several feature wins along the way. A couple fast times here and there. Finished decent in the points, second in the mini trucks, and then fourth in the super stocks. It was a good season. A couple ups and downs, but we were happy with it. It was kind of nice to have it end just because we're so busy throughout the summer with all the different stuff we do.
Yeah.
But now we can kind of focus on the Midwest truck races we have left, and should be a fun rest of the season.
I've seen you with your fair share of those. How many did you actually feel you did really well at, knowing everything else that's going on and trying to focus on such a great level of competition?
Yeah, we've done pretty well at a couple of them. It's all about this year we've been struggling in qualifying. If we can qualify good, we can run up front and kind of with the boys. And I've been racing a lot better this year.
Yep.
Passing a lot of trucks and stuff. We ran really well at Golden Sands. We actually almost won that one, but then kind of lost the right rear and got tied up in a little bit of lap traffic at the end and just slipped up. Yeah, it's been a good season. We got in a wreck 2 races ago at the Dells. We didn't make the last race at Jefferson, and I don't think we're going to race this Sunday, but then we're just going to focus on getting ready to go for Oktoberfest and hopefully have a good showing there and then round out the season at the Dells for the following.
October 21st, you got a little time between then and now, but now that also means you got time to kind of go through things. We mentioned literally the stock car you drove was a station wagon. You ran that on the quarter mile as well, right?
Yep, yeah, and that's a every week deal, so we were focusing on that quite a bit from a week-to-week basis. That's with the Hauser crew, Greg Hauser, Justin Stuck, Chris Sprangers, Jesse Lyson, Robin Diverstein, all the guys who help us out in that. That's a weekly deal, so we're focusing on that a lot from week to week.
Still racing the Wisconsin Sport Trucks. How does that parlay into you now being the mentor for these 2 guys?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun racing with both these guys this year. Me and Casey raced really good this year, battled a lot quite a bit. And then Brady really picked it up towards the end of the year. Really just throughout the season just kept progressing as it went on.
Casey, this is the first time we've had a chance to have you on. Well, your brother Cody was here a year ago with a big trophy with the Hauser Motorsports hat hanging off it. He bagged a big trophy. I'm sure you're like, hey, I got to get mine. I got to win mine. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for probably 5 years now.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know.
What gets you the most energy? Whether it be seeing Cody in your rearview mirror or out the front window, or you're just beating anybody you possibly can and that race goes exactly like you want it?
I don't know. Well, once the race starts, I don't know. My goal's always to beat my brother. So.
And what's the percentage of that this year, Casey?
What do you mean by that?
How many times? One out of 5, 6 out of 10.
What would you say? You want to chime in?
I don't know. I think I had 5 sport truck feature wins at Kaukauna. How many did you have?
I think I had like 4.
Wow.
Yeah,
so
I'm getting there.
Yeah, you are.
I'm getting there.
Not just wins. I'm talking about your feature wins, not just beating your brother. That takes a lot of work, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably have 13, 12 now.
All right.
So,
what's it like during the week getting ready with everything you guys have going on at the work, and then also when you go to the racetrack?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, after getting done with work at night and then going home, working on the trucks every week, maybe 2 or 3 nights a week, depending on what you break or whatnot, doing your regular maintenance. So it's a lot.
How many trucks do you guys have to work with, Casey? Because as you mentioned, 5 years, there's a lot of equipment that can build up over time, especially in one division with 3 different guys.
Well, we have my truck, Cody's truck, and Brady's truck. And then also on our team is Jason Van Handel, but he does most of the own work to his truck himself. So 3 trucks.
All right. Brady, we'll bring you in on this. How long have you been doing this?
This is my first year.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
How did it go? I guess you're done, right?
Yeah, I got Rookie of the Year for Wisconsin International Raceway.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really cool. What was it like finally getting a chance to race after being around these guys and wanting your chance, and you finally got it this year?
Yeah, I've been watching for probably 6 years, and I've always been wanting to race, and now finally it's pretty fun and exciting.
What do you think you'll learn the most, whether it be consistency or turn 3 on that quarter mile, man? It looks kind of tricky to me.
Yeah, patience. You need a lot of patience, and you need you need to be very smooth.
So how do you help yourself with that? Are you watching film? Are you watching your brothers? Do you have a GoPro camera you tape yourself with? What do you do to get better?
I always just go behind Cody and practice and follow him around.
How many guys are in that train, Cody? I'm sure you've been at this a while. There's probably more than your brother that wants to do that.
Well, if it's not Brady behind me, I'll always change up my line to kind of throw people off a little bit.
Okay. But your kid brother, you let him, okay, I'll show you the line.
I'll let him learn a little bit.
I'll show you the line. Yeah.
Teach him a thing or two.
So, Cody, with you getting the opportunities to drive more than Wisconsin Sport Trucks, which is a bunch of fun, it looks like, does that mean these guys are chomping at the bit to move you out of some of those seats, too, as you make your way into maybe more Midwest Truck Series racing?
Yep. Yeah, we got another Midwest truck that's almost identical to mine, and we just kind of have had that sitting in the garage this year, but we kind of want to just work on that over the winter, and then we're trying to focus on getting better with my truck and be able to consistently set that up and know when to make the right changes. It's a really tough division.
Yep.
It's so competitive, and if you're off just a little bit, you're off a lot in that deal. An eighth of an inch is so much.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to focus on getting better with that, and then hopefully Casey will be able to make a couple starts in the Midwest Truck Series next year.
Casey, what are you working on right now? You want to win that Wisconsin Sport Truck Championship, win more features than anybody else? What's the immediate goal for you?
Well, this year I won the Touring Championship in the Sport Trucks. And
nicely done.
I think I passed away with like a third place at WIR behind Jason Van Handel and Cody. And next year, my goal is to win it. Everything, basically. So that's the goal.
Does that mean Cody's Wisconsin Sport Truck may not work on a few nights? Or are you going to just work on your own stuff and whatever happens, happens? Because as good as you guys are getting at this, I mean, you were looking for any advantage, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Just going to go for it.
I'm half kidding, really, because it's a lot of fun, but I'm sure it's a lot of work to race with you guys.
Yeah.
Brady, I want to talk to you about what you're getting to do now that you have had a year of experience. Are you now going to be in charge of your truck, taking it apart? Are you going to be in charge of like certain things on the truck or the maintenance? And it's like, okay, you have to learn this part of the craft?
Yeah.
What would that be?
I always mostly do all my own maintenance,
Okay.
and my dad always helps me on a lot of that stuff.
Okay. Who else helps you guys? There's a lot going on.
Michael Kirshner, he's one of the main helpers too, and a lot of other people. Jason Van Handel comes over. He helps us all.
Okay. And then let's talk about your day jobs. You guys have a lot going on where you have to make sure everybody else has fun too, right? With Ken Sports.
Yep. Yeah, and it's I'm out of school now, so I'm at Ken's full time, helping Dad out, kind of trying to learn his position that he's been doing for the past 35 years. So I'm kind of following in his footsteps a little bit. Working full time at the parts and service counter.
Yep.
And then obviously working in the shop most nights at home, working on all of our race stuff.
Casey, what's your role during the day now that school is back in session? What were you doing this summer?
I'm more in the shop than Cody is.
Okay.
I assemble and prepare for delivery, snowmobiles, motorcycles, stuff like that.
And Brady, I'm sure you just say, okay, when that thing's ready, Casey, I need to go test drive it. Is that what he gets to do?
I just go with the flow and see what my dad wants me to do.
That's kind of fun too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I grew up in my dad's auto repair shop, and they were all, we were all involved at a very young age, just helping out and bleeding brakes and taking cars back when we were way too young to drive and that kind of thing. It's kind of been fun. Do you guys get to enjoy that part of it, or because it's the job, it's like, I want to go race? Yeah, I wouldn't mind using a UTV to buzz back and forth the mailbox, but do you guys ever get that itch to just go racing and not work the day job? How does that balance when you guys have toys around you the whole time, Cody?
Obviously, it helps being a family business with the racing thing. We're pretty serious about work when we're there, but it's nice to be able to get off when we need to.
Yes.
To go racing. And, the guys around us, they understand that at work that we go racing, and we all work hard. We put our time in. So that's pretty cool about the place that we work at, obviously.
Casey, who all helps you? You mentioned Mike over here was a really big component. Who else is with you guys on a race night or a race weekend, or if it has to be like a couple of races in a weekend because you're touring too, not just at Kaukauna?
Yeah, my main helper is my dad. Mike helps me good too, and I also bring some of my buddies along to the track once in a while. One of my main people I bring is TJ Reeder, one of my buddies. And Michael Wienant, he's a big deal. He builds our engines. Rob Vandermoss passed away now, but he built our chassis.
Okay.
And I don't know, just a few other guys who, been helping out.
So. But they've been helping you more than just on occasion. They're there a lot.
Yeah, all the time.
That helps a ton.
Yep.
Cody, when it comes to sponsorship, who helps you guys with your truck, with your station wagon, with your Midwest truck?
With our station wagon, we have a number of sponsors. L&B Cabinets, Lightski Construction. Too many lists. I should pull out my phone here and look at my list while I'm waiting here. But with my Midwest truck, it's mostly Ken Sports, Van Handel Auto Body. And those are the main ones. Let me pull up my sponsors for the station wagon here.
And I know you guys have sequential numbers. How did you guys decide not to go number 4A or 4B, Casey?
Honestly, I have no clue. He was number 4. Jason Van Handel was number 6. And I was like, I'm going to keep the sequence going and go with 2.
All right.
There's no story behind it.
And then, Brady, you snuck in there. What's your number?
3.
Of course. Yeah, right in line, right? It makes all the sense.
Yep.
Is that because they had decals left over, or you said, I'm going to be 3?
I want to be 3.
All right, okay. Anybody special that was running the 3?
Dale Earnhardt.
There you go. See? 3 for Dale. I can say 3 for Brady.
Yep.
All right, who's you got for sponsors?
For my sponsors for the station wagon at WR, we got a lot of support behind us. Greg and Robin know a ton of people, so that's always nice to have money coming in. L&B Custom Cabinets, Eric's Enterprises, Conveying, and B&H Pattern, Lightski Construction, Bam Built Custom Fabrications, NEW Plastering, Interior Office Services, Rocky and Tara's Nut House, Plan B Bar, Tim's Body Shop, the X Bar, Fox River Auto Repair, Rick's Auto Glass. Oh, my phone just glitched out on me there. Got to make sure we get them all.
Yeah.
Rick's Autoglass, Eagle Links Golf Course, Carter's Caboose, Naughty River Inn, and then Aaron Galinsky's photos. He's always taking awesome pictures down at Kaukauna and posting them of everyone, so thanks to Aaron for that.
Who else we need to thank here, Casey? Parents? Uncles, aunts?
Dad.
All right.
He's the main guy.
Yeah, definitely got to thank Dad, and then some other guys that help us out with the Midwest Truck Series.
Yeah.
Our longtime competitor, Bobby Wattier, and his dad. Bobby raced against us in sport trucks for 5 years. He raced against me, and we became very, very good friends. We go to the Snowball Derby every year together now.
Nice.
And then Bobby's also my spotter in the Midwest Truck Series, and his dad, Paul, comes along and helps us out. Can't thank those guys enough for always taking the time out of their days and coming along with us. And then I got to thank our cousin-in-law, Ty Majeski. He's always given us friendly advice and stuff, helping us out. We all run the Toby stuff. So those guys over there at Toby Race Products, got to thank them for all their help with our Midwest truck.
He's probably a good guy to talk to, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And you guys, too. I mean, he's mentoring guys. He's been mentoring drivers when it comes to karting on through. I mean, it's a really good guy to relate to if you can get a hold of him, right?
Yeah, just the nicest guy. He's so humble, and he's just always down to teach us stuff and just kind of go through it with us, and he's just so good at explaining stuff, and just he's a good mentor, like you said.
And he also works at Ken Sports every now and then. He was putting stuff together because his dad, Brad, retired from his real job and now works at Ken Sports as well, a couple locations. It's kind of cool to have that connection.
Yep, and yeah, Brad spots for me a couple times a year too. Whenever Ty's racing, and if Ty's not racing a truck or whatever at Oktoberfest, Brad will spot for me, and Brad does a phenomenal job at spotting. So appreciate Brad for coming out and doing that for us as well.
Last word for you, Brady. What do you think you are going to take into next year that you learned and like, okay, I'm doing this every week. I got to do it this way. I've got to study how to do that every week after this first year.
Get my tires right in the exact point I need to do it, and listen to my brothers too and my dad. That's a major point.
Okay. All right. It's been great having you guys on the show. Let's have a nice hand for these three brothers, the Vanderloops, Cody, Casey, and Brady Vanderloop, guys. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Continued success to you as well. I know that your seasons are kind of winding down, but it's great to see you guys here spending a few minutes with us with everything you got going on. Thanks again.
For sure. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're talking about a bunch of racing. Jamie Zeider's hanging out right over here. Brett Wakowiak has got a bunch of people here. We're going to talk to him about his modified right over here, and we're going to talk about how good he is on that car. We also are going to talk to a gentleman who's the Vice President of Sales for Hoosier Tire Company. We're going to find out some more insights about how they go about what they have going on across the globe when it comes to racing tires. Stick around. This is the Racing Roundup Show on a Tuesday night. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday evening. Hello to Donnie Gaden. How you doing, my buddy? That's won championships all over the place. He just said he liked the tweet of our photo of what's going on here, so thank you, Donnie. It's great to have racers around here. I also see Jim Wirtz is here from J2 Woodworks. His brother Frank's here as well. Frank Smith's back here. Pat Haney had a huge, successful event, right? The Hales Corner Speedway reunion is this past Sunday. Mike Watson is here. His brother's race, the Jim Wildman Watson race, is this coming Saturday. More about that in about 10 seconds. So if you want to join the racers, they're all hanging out with us, having a fun time with the racing crowd tonight at the show. This portion of the program is brought to you by another racer. He owns BMRE Electric Karts and e-bikes in Random Lake. Brad Miller has now a full in stock of Icon e-bikes that go as far as 30 miles between charges and can go up to 25 miles per hour. You name the color, you name the design. They've got plenty of different options for the Icon. Golf carts are electric powered. They're Wisconsin's Icon dealer. Their in-stock inventory is available. And to see and watch and do at Random Lake, or you can go on their Facebook page, look for BMRE Electric Karts Company. Here's the information about the Plymouth Dirt Track. They got a lot going on the next couple of weeks. Plymouth Dirt Track hosts a pair of big championship events to close out the month of September and the 2023 season. First is the Wildman Watson Dirt Kings event this Saturday, the 23rd. Then the championships continue with the Wisconsin Sprint Car Championships. That's the season ender for Saturday, September 30th for the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints, MSA 360s, Autometer Wisconsin Wingless, and IRA Lightning Sprints. The Plymouth Dirt Track is crowning Wisconsin's premier dirt track champions the next 2 Saturdays. Come feel the thunder. And indeed, that's what you want to do. And we're going to talk more about the Wildman Watson Classic here in a little bit as well. It's now moved to the Plymouth Dirt Track this Saturday night. Want to make sure you're aware of that. It's going to be a lot of fun to see that in full contest at a new venue, the Plymouth Dirt Track hosting the Jim Wildman Watson Classic for the Wabam Dirt Kings Tour. We now welcome in the man behind the voice you hear all the time on our show, and when he's here not doing PA gigs at NASCAR tracks across the country or hanging out and the Midwest Tour streams, we find Dean Straub sitting next to us. Dean, welcome back to the show.
Jim, it's good to be here. How you been?
Good to have you. Really good.
Good.
I know you're excited for this weekend. We'll have to talk about what happened this past
There's a lot
weekend.
going on this weekend.
I know.
Yep. Bonafide Security Solutions brings us the Short Track Report. Camera and alarm system for your home or business. Program card access, gun safes. It's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value. CK Contractors, LLC.com brings us the CK Contractors, Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints coverage. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavation, grading, retention pond building, and more. Tommy Sexton drove the Klemko Racing winged 604 sprint car to victory Saturday, which was Wilmot Raceway's CK Contractors owner, Chris Klemko. He ran second. Ryan Marshall won the wingless feature. Bandits champion Ryan Johnson won his track title just by showing up. He started off the night, though, by asking fans to sign his car so that they could ride along with him. The Bandits
kind of a cool
feature,
thing.
Yeah, kind of cool indeed. Bandits feature was won by David McKillips of Mount Pleasant. Bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints were washed out Saturday night at 141 Speedway. That race has been canceled, leaving the Saturday, September 3rd Wisconsin Sprint Car Championships left on the IRA Outlaw Wing Sprint Series schedule, along with Lightning Sprints. Also deciding their championship at Plymouth on September 30th will be the MSA 360s and Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints. Jim will have a little bit more about this big weekend coming up at Dells Raceway Park, the Midwest Championship Showdown. 3 days worth of racing.
And Brett Wahoviach might have a shot at second in the points, if not first, if all goes to plan this Friday night.
3 days of racing, including Sunday's rescheduled Icebreaker 150 for the Midwest, or 50 for the Midwest Truck Series, and the Icebreaker 100 for the Live for 5 Super Late Model race. Of course, that was supposed to be run in April.
Yep.
That's why we have an Icebreaker
race. Hope it's not going to be for wearing sweatshirts that say Dells Raceway Park on them when you're at the track. They do have them, though. They're really cool.
Sean Scheel and Steven Scheel won the twin late model features at the state championships at Jefferson Speedway this past weekend, but track champion Jason Erickson was crowned the overall late model state championship by virtue of his second and third place finishes. And Penn Sauter swept the Bandolero Sunday features, claimed the state championship at Jefferson Speedway. He's just about done with Bandolero racing, I'm thinking.
They're building them a late model.
Late model.
I thought it'd be a Midwest truck, but they're going late model racing.
Late model racing, yep. Bettenhausen Memorial 100 at Grundy County Speedway was rained out this past weekend, rescheduled for this Saturday night. Brad Sweet, Buddy Kofoid, they were winners. World of Outlaw Sprints wrapped up their California tour. Sweet continues to lead a tight championship points battle between he and David Gravel and Carson Macedo as they head to Ohio. You know, normally, or in years past, I should say, there's been a lot of years past where the guy who won the championship is way out. There's 3 guys that, are within a few points of each other. It's pretty cool as their season winds down. Current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship point leader Ricky Thornton Jr. completed a weekend sweep at Knoxville, the Late Model Knoxville Nationals. He won the 2 preliminary nights, won the big show. His 3-day total, over $64,000. And I'm going to be up at Elko Speedway. First time I've been to Elko Speedway in quite a few years.
This Saturday is the return.
This Saturday. The return of super late model racing to Elko Speedway. Thunderstruck 93 at Elko. It's if you can't be there in person, you can catch all the action. MidwestTour.tv, MidwestTour.tv. It's the penultimate event for the ASA Midwest
got it in there.
Tour.
Second to last. Dane loves saying those words.
And Dan Fredrickson and his 14-year-old son Ty are going to be racing against each other for the first time ever. Gabe Summers leads the points over Justin Mondyke, Levon Vandergeest. Brian Sierkeski, Barrett Polhemus having a good rookie battle. They're 4th and 5th. I looked at the entry list. It's over half of the guys are Minnesotans.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's going to be a good night.
Is Donnie Reavers on the list?
Yes, he is.
All right. Great to see Donnie back in that car. He was one of the first guys in 2007 when the ASA Midwest Tour started. He and that 77 driver, Island, were always going to be involved, and then Donnie just stopped doing it, and then Jonathan kept going doing it. And
Dean Cornelius is on the list. Jacob Gady's on the list. Sierkeski, 2 Fredricksons. I mean, it's going to be a cool deal.
MidwestTour.tv is where you can see Dean on the live stream this Saturday. Matt Vadi will be on the broadcast as well.
No, we're not going to see me. We're going to hear me.
Well, you might see him running around, doing some crazy things. Follow him on Facebook. Dean's got a lot of cool things going on when it comes to pre-race hype and that kind of stuff. I also want to mention that I saw a really neat story on MidwestTour.racing. That's the series website. Dan Fredrickson was a buddy of Dan Ryan. Dan Ryan was his car owner. Danny Fredrickson was his crew chief. And Dan Ryan had suffered through ALS and passed away. And the race, the Thunderstruck 93, was named after Dan Ryan, thus the lap count. And
his favorite song, Thunderstruck.
Yeah. And Dan Ryan, his family gave permission to Dan Fredrickson and his pregnant wife that if they had a boy, could they name him with the same middle name as Dan Ryan?
Yep.
So he's Ty Patrick Fredrickson, named after Dan Patrick Ryan.
Yeah,
so that's kind of cool that they all get to do that together as a way to go racing and having fun. I'm telling you, Ty's going to look pretty good. Ty looked pretty good when I saw him race.
Danny said, in following that same line, though, Jim, Dan's got 5 guitars. The trophy is a guitar, Thunderstruck 93, guitar. Yep. He's got 5. He says, I got one for all my kids. Now we just got to go out and just go have some fun and get after it and race with his son Ty.
That's going to be fun. Speaking of racers that have been racing across the country for decades, like Fredrickson had on his side of things on the pavement, now we're talking about a dirt racing family that's been around for 40, 50 years now maybe in dirt racing. Let's welcome in Jamie Zeider with American Foundation Specialist. Jamie, welcome back to the show. Good to see you here.
Glad to be here.
How long has your dad been involved in racing? Your dad, Tony's here today, but I remember seeing those cars when I was a little guy, and I'm not that young anymore.
I don't know what year he actually got started, but it's close to probably 50 years.
And how long have you been doing this?
late model racing.
Yeah.
I started in 2000.
Okay.
I took that a few years off in the middle here, but got back in it the last few years, and not as heavy as we had been in it, So we tried to do some local stuff, and now we were going to do some traveling this year. Followed a Mara series that changed.
Okay.
Then we followed the Plymouth, the 6 race that they have there. Ended up staying closer to home. So,
but when you say local, for you guys, it might be, hey, they're racing in Missouri tonight. We got 3 hours. Well, they're going to start. What time are hot laps? Oh, you get there for the second session, and you guys just go.
We have.
You guys have been different like that. It's kind of fun to listen to you and Mikey about. Mikey Kalinowski, your longtime crew guy, is like, okay, where'd you guys go this week? Well, we were going to go to Illinois, but then that was looking iffy on the weather, so we called over to Iowa. They were kind of iffy, so we went to Nebraska. It's like, what?
Yeah,
you guys do that to go racing?
We've done that. We have went. This is many years ago, but we have went to 3 different states in 3 different days and rained out every day.
Whoa!
So we spent a lot of time, watching the windshield, So,
but still, that's the dedication and focus. Like, I got to go race. We're out here racing. Let's get some racing in.
Well, for us, years ago, we only had Wissota up here, and we didn't run any Wissota since we were UMP, so we always went south.
Okay.
Well, everybody wondered why we always went down there. Well, it was 3 or 4 hours minimum if it was Michigan or Illinois or wherever we would travel, and but you start watching the weather. So you're going there to race. So you want to watch the weather a little bit. So
all right. So if you mentioned 2000. In year 2000, we've probably had bag phones, cell phones with antennas on, and very little range. So you would actually probably have to call from the fanciest phone you could get in the hauler, right? To call ahead to your buddy or call ahead to the track. Are we running? What's the weather like? That kind of thing.
Yes, at some point. We were actually Columbus, Mississippi, I believe. We were calling home to watch the weather. They were watching the weather for us. Okay. We were on our cell phones. So, long story short, is we were the only one at the racetrack. We were a day early, and the tornado was coming. So we literally had to take shelter with the promoter, and it was interesting. But the following day was race day. We made it. So it was interesting.
Crazy stories.
You have no idea. A lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of stories we could discuss and things we couldn't. So
right. Hang out with Jamie Zito. This season, you mentioned you were focused on the 6 races at Plymouth, and that seemed to be a big deal for a lot of people. There was a lot of good cars that raced there on a Saturday night.
Yeah, we had done 5 of the 6 nights. I did pretty well. I think they were top 5 or 6 finishes, so we didn't do too bad. One of the nights, like night 4 or 5 or whatever it was, we were leading the race, and I ended up falling back. I just not in the right place at the right time, and got into some traffic, and top was where you need to be. I was on the bottom and vice versa or whatnot, and so I ended up, wasn't up there in the points as far as I would like to have been. I don't even know where we finished exactly, but we try not to do any points racing. Sometimes it gets, it gets to be a little too much when you're trying to do that, I think.
Really, one of the shining moments for you this year, though, it was not at Plymouth. It was at Angel Park Speedway and the Dirt Kings Tour. How'd that night go for you?
Started off real well. The rain was coming. That was one of those deals where you're watching the weather, and we went out there, hot lapped, and I talked to Mike, and I said, hey, let's change this, and we did that, and I went out there and never lifted for 2 laps, and I knew I had fast time, but I didn't know I had the track record. So that was interesting. I didn't realize the track record was broke twice before me that night, and I was the 3rd person to break. So at least for a year I get to hold the track record. But if
you still have it, that's yours.
Yeah. So at least I know what to do next year. If the track's similar, I'll break my own record.
Now, Mikey said he'd be here tonight, but he said, no, I can't be here tonight. Your friend and crew guy, Mikey Kalinowski, was here last week. He said, no, I'll be busy going getting an engine to go racing some more this year.
Yeah, we had a timing chain break the week after Angel Park. So we were all qualifying at Plymouth, and I actually thought it was an electrical problem. I have never had a timing chain break. It kind of sounded kind of interesting, so I thought it was electrical. Long story short, we're taking a few weeks off. There's been some. It's usually Mike and I, so there's only 2 of us that are traveling and working on the car. Most during the week it's Mike. On the weekend it's us, or both of us, and whoever we can get to help us as well. But So we just took a couple weeks off. I got family business that I'm running with my dad here and whatnot. So kind of doing some things at home for a few weeks. Wish I was in the car. I know we got the Watson race coming up.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that.
Just not going to work out, is it?
No, I don't think so. Not unless we pick up a sponsor in the next couple days.
It's going to take a lot.
They can stop over at Pro Power and pick us up a new engine.
New engine. That's all you need is one new one. Yeah, right. Speaking of American Foundation Specialists, you guys have been great supporters of our show. We see you in those fancy commercials we play on the show. What have you guys been working on? What have you specifically been working on at American Foundation Specialists, helping customers for now 6 decades and counting?
Yeah, I've my job or the hat that I wear every day can change.
Okay.
It all depends on where I'm at. I actually do some of the sales. Right now I'm working with the crew. I run an excavator. Sometimes I'm driving a truck. It all depends.
Yeah.
As I don't have to explain to anybody here. Help's hard to find, so depending on what we need done is where and what I'm doing that day. So.
Yep. Do you enjoy that variety? I know it's a mandatory variety, but do you enjoy the idea that you get a chance to get the job site, you bid it, now you're working on it, now you're making sure the customer's happy, you're doing it the way you guys know how professionally how to get it done?
Oh yeah. It's for me, I like going to meet the customer. Then I know prior to getting the job. If somebody else sells the job, then I show up and I'm like, you're a little blindsided sometimes with what work needs to be done, but we get it done. I've been doing it for 32 years. I think I've been working with my dad, so it's been a long time. So it's not, it's just one of those things that has to get done. So just keep plucking away every day. Sun up to sundown.
Yep. And going indoor racing, you said, or before the program, what does that all entail?
Indoor? Well, I heard of the Dome when it first started, and
St. Louis now, right? In December.
Yep. December 14th to the 16th. I always wanted to go down there at least to watch. I knew I wasn't racing at the time, so I thought, let's give it a whirl. So I would get back in racing. We go down there. We had a couple pretty decent years. So
that kind of drew you back in?
I look forward to that race out of anything. Right now, I'm not sure my schedule coming up in the next few weeks, but we are going to go south if we have to at least get in the car, get some laps, regardless of the size of the racetrack. I mean, I know that's a bowl, that's a tight racetrack. So if I get some laps, make sure the car's working, let's go there, and a lot of luck.
Yeah.
I hope we got that on our side. Good luck.
Yeah.
I have a lot of luck this year, but most of it's been bad.
You've been pretty good at the Dome, though. You qualified in easy on it. Was it last Thursday? You ran on a Thursday night last year? Did they run you Friday as well?
No, you somehow when you sign up, you get a Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
And so we try to pick Thursday in case something happens in a car. We are able to repair it on Friday.
Yep.
And then you got Saturday for the big race. But we made the show on Thursday both years, and then I was just a spot out making the big show. So on Saturday. So
yeah. And what are we going to expect there? How many cars are they going to have? Have they cut off the number of cars? Are you expecting 150 in the pits? Don't know yet.
I thought it was around 120, 140 or so. It sold out for registration this year. It sold out within 2 hours.
Wow!
So I was lucky to get in.
Yeah, but you're not one of those 120 guys that will race it at the Dome December 14, 15, 16. I wrote that down in the Dome in St. Louis. Who else helping you? We talked about Mikey Kalinowski. Your dad is here tonight. That's a big part of what motivates you to go racing. Who else is on board with you guys when you go racing?
As far as people or sponsors, I got Itch, Dave, Mike's buddy Dave, Big Jim, got a couple other guys. Even Turk's crew helps us out a little bit since we're in the same shop.
Yeah.
But a couple times you're going into another city, so you're picking up somebody that's from there. You know
a lot of people. As much as you're doing this,
When I traveled for all those years, I can go just about to any city and find some help.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Sponsorship, American Foundation Specialist, I'm guessing, is big on the door still.
Yep. That's looking to be replaced if there's anybody out there.
Let's go do this.
JJ Enterprises, Long Shots, Flitz Polishing. They came aboard this year. That was great. To have those guys, Pro Power, Amsoil, Fox Shocks, Shane McDowell Racing. I'm sure there's people I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
But those are the big ones, and I couldn't do it without those guys.
Yep. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you racing again. If you can't make it to the Dome, I think they stream that one live, right?
Yes.
So make sure you look it up. That's going to be part of the fun to root on Jamie Zeider wherever you race. We wish you the best of luck. Fresh Motors on the way. If you want to, again, drop maybe 75, 80,000 in his lap today or tomorrow, you can probably get a new engine to go racing the Wild Man Watson race this Saturday. That's all available. Jamie Zeider Racing on Facebook, I'm guessing, is probably the quickest way to get to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just little social media. Like last couple of weeks I've been off, so I'm trying to watch what everybody else is doing.
There you go.
But yeah, definitely. There's, we try and post where we're going to be. Unfortunately, it can change.
Oh, sure.
On Friday morning.
Yep. Yeah. And sometimes you guys Saturday morning on a Saturday night race.
Well, yeah.
What state doesn't matter. We can get there. All right, it's here for Jamie Zeider. Jamie, thanks for your insights, man. It's been fun kind of catching up on what you guys all get to do at work and when you're at the racetrack. When we come back, we're talking about Hoosier Tires. We're also talking to Brett Wahovic, who's got his modified sitting right out there. No one has found the key yet for it, Brett. I promise it's still there. They got a bunch of people here with us as well. We're also going to have some fun talking to Bill Holland, who's got a great In the Groove segment coming up as well from the Jim Sauter Classic. Stick around for all of that when we come back on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program. It's our 39th season of the Racing Roundup Show, heard in Wisconsin and globally now on our website, racingroundupshow.com. Like our show on Facebook, The Racing Roundup Show. Looking forward to seeing you on a Tuesday evening as we continue our live show tradition through on next week. That's our last program of 2023. Turn your recyclable metals into cash today at Allied Resource Recovery. ARR West Dallas Recycling is at 80th and Burnham. And ARR Waukesha is located at 1001 Tesh Court. Visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com for the locations and details about how you can turn your recyclable metals into cash today. We now have a pleasure of joining us on the phone, a gentleman who's been very involved globally as well as nationally and locally out of Indiana shops for Hoosier Racing Tire. Let's welcome in Paul Menting, Vice President of Sales for Hoosier Tire. Paul, how are you?
Good, Jim. How are you this evening?
We're doing super good. It's so much fun to have racers on talking about how much fun they get to go racing, but if they do it right, they know they're probably racing on Hoosier tires, Paul. So thanks for spending a minute with us. There's been a lot going on just the last couple years for you guys. Getting tires, getting people in the right places, and having so much success. But there's also a big demand. How's it been since like the pandemic forward? Because you guys have really been tasked with a lot. There's a lot more racing going on, it seems like these days more than ever.
Boy, it sure seems that way, doesn't it? From our end especially. Yeah, it's been challenging. So I've been with Hoosier I'm going on my 35th year, 36th year. And I can honestly say the last 2 years were the most challenging that our company's ever had. So coming out of that, we're rebounding now. And our biggest issue, Jim, has been from the supply side, both from a material side as well as labor, were our biggest challenges. Hiring people, keeping people, ultimately has been the biggest challenge for us. And I think we've turned the corner on that. I know we have. Our hiring has gotten better, and our retention also has gotten better. We've done a lot of things to improve that over the last 2 years. So I feel really, really a lot better and a lot stronger about 2024 than I did certainly even going into 23. So from that side, all positive.
Yeah, the introduction of the new rear tire selection for wing sprint car racing, that was a big change. It also added some customization, but also some stability to what those teams could do and run, not 6 different compounds, just 2 to choose from. Those kind of things take time to develop. And when it comes to the sales aspect, Paul, when you guys are looking at testing and sourcing materials, there's a long period of time where you guys really have to expect and anticipate that people may not realize. Maybe go into that a little bit about what you guys do to plan and then produce and manufacture after testing. It's all like one continuous cycle, isn't it?
Absolutely. We're constantly testing, constantly trying to improve even products that are long-standing, as well as developing new technologies and putting them into our products. The Sprint tire package is a good example of that. We had to make some changes there because our molds were going on 20 years old in some cases there. And so it was time to replace those. And with that, we knew we could upgrade the technology and try to hit the sweet spot that a lot of competitors had been asking for. The ability to turn that tire around on the right rear was something that people were asking for in order to improve the longevity of it. So we've given them that. But that takes a lot of time. There's a lot of development that goes into that and improving out of it. And then an adjustment as you go into the marketplace. That didn't help us in 23 as far as supply goes, because now you're talking about gearing up all those people with the new products as well. So we've gone over that hump, and we're going to be in really good shape for 24. But you hit the nail on the head there, Jim. It is a lot of ongoing development that's behind the curtain, so to speak, that takes a long time to bring into the marketplace.
Speaking of Paul Menting, the VP of Sales for Hoosier Tire, I also want to go inside those 4 walls in Lakeville, Indiana. Proudly made in Indiana, Upper Midwest. There's a lot of folks that want to know where they're built. They're built right in Indiana, but they're also built by hand. That's got to be a process that just isn't learned overnight. And you mentioned that process of getting retention and getting people involved and engaged. That takes some time to get it just right, doesn't it, with a new employee?
Yeah, I wish we could take every competitor and fan out there through our manufacturing facility, which is in Plymouth, Indiana. That's where all of our tires are made, except for we have one line of street tires, which is made in Germany, but everything else is made in Plymouth, Indiana. And it takes a long time for that skill to be learned, especially when you're talking about what we call band building. That's how a sprint tire, for instance, is made. And it's very labor intensive, and it'll take 6 months for that new employee just to get up to speed. And it'd take him up, and depending on the product that he's building, maybe upwards of a year before he becomes proficient at building that product. So when we have a lot of turnover, in the manufacturing side of it, it really, really challenges us to keep our products consistent as well as to get the numbers out the door that we need to do. So that, like I said, that's been our biggest hurdle in the last 2 years coming out of the pandemic. I feel like we're doing better there, but still got to work on it really hard.
Paul Menting, VP of Sales for Hoosier Tire. One last question for you. It's about the different tires you need to continue to build because you're involved in so many different sports. I've announced the SCCA National Championship runoffs, and there's different size cars, different size engines, different divisions there alone on the road racing on the amateur side, outside of the dirt or now the pavement asphalt or pavement sprint cars. I mean, there's a lot you guys have to produce over the course of a season. You in sales, I'm guessing, Paul, there's also got to be a look towards what else can be accomplished. What else can Hoosier Tire get into? What kind of new business or new sales leads or things are developing for you guys to get in maybe a new market in your line of work?
Yeah, new markets. We're just now starting to explore the UTV market as a whole. So that's been real exciting for us. Just now have 2 different sizes coming out with 2 more next year. So that's an exciting, but right in our wheelhouse, as far as UTV racing goes. We did just sign the USF 2000 series to a 5-year contract. We're really excited about that. We've had a long relationship with Dan Anderson and all of his entities, and so we're really excited about getting involved with the USF. We're always looking to challenge ourselves. Motorsports is all we do. It's what we love to do. So, anywhere where they're racing, we want to be.
Well, Paul, it's been great to get a little more insights from you guys, and it's been fun knowing that the Hoosier Tire folks are continually working here in the Upper Midwest to make sure that it's the best product and you guys can trust it. And certainly it's not without a bunch of hard work. And we look forward to seeing you guys develop that UTV tire. I know that two-wheel racing is a passion of Irish Sanders, who we see at all the circle track stuff that I get to go to. But, man, he loves his motorcycle racing, and especially on the dirt, you guys are really doing well there as well. So it's been fun seeing the development and talking to our friend Irish over the years and seeing how you guys continue to lead the way when it comes to tire manufacturing for racing in the United States. So thanks, Paul, for your time. We really appreciate it on the show.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you having me on anytime. I hope to come back and share what we're doing.
Well, we're going to have you back on for sure. It's going to be fun talking about what else you guys are cooking up. Hey, how about I say it for Paul Menting from Hoosier Tire. Thank you, Paul, for joining us on the Racing Roundup Show. We now get to a gentleman who brought more people here than perhaps a small wedding. Just saying. Let's welcome in the driver, that number 7 out there. He's got a reason to celebrate. He finally won his first modified feature at the Dells Raceway Park, going for maybe second or first in the points this year. This Friday night at the Midwest Championship Showdown. Brett Rahoviach, welcome to the show. Welcome to all your friends and family.
Yeah,
it's been fun having you kind of sit and chill, but talking to you before the show, I can tell you guys are just passionate about this.
Yeah, it's been something that ever since high school I've gotten into, and ever since then it's just grown more and more and more, and my family's come and supported me ever since then, and we brought some extra people along that normally weren't into racing before, and kind of brought them in and kind of showed them what we were all about.
It's a lot of fun, but man, is it a lot of work, isn't it? You started in dirt racing how long ago now?
Oh man, senior year in high school, so 2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you started really getting good at the dirt side, right?
It took a while. It took a long time. But if it wasn't for my brother, probably wouldn't have won a feature on dirt either. He was there every week with me in the garage and then at the track every week, making sure, telling me what I'm doing wrong, everything. And we ended up winning one feature on dirt before we switched over to asphalt.
How did that transition come about? Because I know that I don't know many guys. There's very few that transition or make a move. Was it your decision or somebody come knocking on your door?
Well, I've became friends with the Jasinski family quite a few years ago, and they would help us out on dirt. And Tom, he ran asphalt ever since he started. And he would help me out on the dirt and whatnot, and then we would go down to Bahama Brackets every year and fell in love with that and figured we could test our luck out on the asphalt one time. And, I actually won my first ever race on asphalt down at Bahama Brackets.
With your dirt car?
Yeah.
Because that's with, run anything you want. You just got to make sure you're within the bracket.
Yep. I won, a B main to get into the big show, and before I even won a heat race or anything on dirt. So that was kind of fun. And so we ran that a couple of years, and then just wanted to see what we could do full-time in an asphalt car. And then Tom asked me if I wanted to drive a car with no front fenders on it, and I said, sure, let's go at it. And ever since then, so we're working on year number 4 now in the modified.
You did intimate, though, before the show, as you unloaded it and drove it into the parking lot here at Paul's, you said it's a dirt chassis.
Yep.
We're making it run on asphalt.
Yep.
How much fun has that been? Has it been an easier transition that way?
Not really. Okay. I mean, it's just been a whole lot of shop time to convert it from a dirt car over to an asphalt car. It's a 2008 car. I mean, it's a lot of cutting and welding and grinding and getting it to where we can make something good out of it, and I think we reached that point right now.
So I think you're right there with them, though. There's only 4 guys that won features this year. You're one of them. Jerry Blystone won on his Blystone towing night.
Yep.
Matthew Pate's ahead of you in points by just 9. He won 3 features this year.
Yep.
That young kid, Weston Marthaler, with Kelly Byers and all those guys, they won 4 features. They're leading the points. I mean, there's not too many guys that have a shot at winning these, and you're right there with them now. How does that feel every week knowing you got a shot?
Yeah, it's good. It's always, Weston's always he's been pretty dominant up there this year. So it felt really good to at least beat him for once. Usually he's flying around you on the outside. I mean, and then Matt Pate, we actually pit right next to him. So it was he's always pretty quick. So it's always it's always fun to beat the guys that have always been faster than you, and you try and learn stuff from them to help yourself get faster.
So when it comes to events the Dells Raceway Park does a nice job. They on occasion they'll get you additional money if you win fast time, or additional money if you win the feature, or hey, next week it's got this sponsor. A lot of things are going in the right direction there. For you guys to race weekly there and now come down to a championship this Friday on a big weekend, how do you guys address that? I mean, is every week a big deal, or is it when I get a chance to race, or does this weekend mean something more because you're racing Friday for potentially second in points, or if not the championship?
Yeah, it's definitely it's going to be tougher. Having won the last feature, we're going to have to start behind the invert. And with it being a special event, you're going to get a couple extra cars from the guys from a couple of cars from Slinger, and just other cars, and it's definitely going to be tougher to finish second in points, but I think Weston's got the championship pretty much locked up. But all we got to do is go out there, just keep picking them off one at a time.
How much changes in a given month, for example? Now we're getting into a little cooler conditions. August was pretty hot. July was pretty hot. When it comes to race setups, how good are you guys getting at that on the pavement at the Dells on a given Saturday night?
I always thought our car was always better when we were underneath the lights. I don't know if it's because the track cooled down or whatnot, but hopefully now that it's fall, it's getting cooler out. Hopefully we have that same grip and same consistency in the car all night, this whole weekend.
It's a big weekend. I want to give you a rundown. This Friday night at Dells Raceway Park, it is the Midwest Championship Showdown. Friday night is the scheduled Chula Vista Resort Season Championship night. That's when Brett's going to race for a championship in the UMA Asphalt Modifieds. UMA Pro Late Models are racing. The Sportsmen, the Bandits, and Six Shooters, those are the traditional divisions, plus they add additions throughout the season, That's Friday night's show. So that's the last night you race for points then, right?
No, Friday night is our final points night.
Yep.
And then Saturday is just double features for us.
Gotcha.
For a Midwest championship.
Bragging rights, money, trophy.
Yeah.
That's Saturday. So let's go through Saturday's schedule. The Dave Rodiger 68 presented by Quality Freight Rate Big A Late Models is Saturday's headliner. CWA Super Lates are racing there. Sportsman, and you guys get to race again in twin features on Saturday.
Yes.
You have one car, right?
Yep.
One engine.
Yep.
Bunch of dedicated crew guys.
Yep.
So if Friday goes well, great. If Friday goes you got a lot of work to do on Saturday morning?
Yeah, hopefully. We've been pretty lucky the last couple of years, staying out of trouble, avoiding trouble, and we did have overheating issues quite a bit the beginning of this year. So I think we got all that figured out, and hopefully we'll just rock and roll.
Sunday is the rescheduled from April icebreaker events at the Dells. You can sit in the stands and watch this one, right?
I wish, but I will be up there helping Jordan DeVoy.
Hey, there you go. Okay. So, Jordan's he's won a big race at the Dells. He won the icebreaker a couple years ago.
Yeah, he did.
So, and Jordan's been on our show. So he's racing the Icebreaker 100. That's the Alive for 5 Super Late Model race. And also the Midwest Truck Series is racing the Icebreaker 50. This will be the second of 3 times that the Truck Series will be at Dells, I think, in the last the last 4 races of the year. I think 3 of them or 4 of them, 3 of the last 5 or something like that, are at Dells Raceway Park. So there's a lot going on, along with Legends on Sunday and 602 Outlaw Late Models on Sunday. So if you want to win tickets, you can come to the show. If you want to hang out and watch him work on Sunday, that's cool too. The Icebreaker 100 and the Icebreaker 50 are going on. How'd you get stuck with that, Judy? Because, I mean, you got guys here, you got gals here, you got people that you want to help, but you say, oh, hang on, Jordan, I'll help you when I can.
They've been a huge part of our success the last couple of years in racing. From helping them and, them not racing as much, we can reach out to them for any tech support that we really need, and they're trying to steer us in the right direction, and every time I feel like it's paid off. So it's my way of paying them back for helping us out.
How many times has Brett Wojcicki said, okay, I'm putting my helmet over here, Jordan, what do you need? Or I'm going to go help you in qualifying, or I'm going to help you go through tech. What kind of balance is that on a given night when he's racing and you're racing?
Yeah, then we pretty much stick to ourselves.
Okay.
I mean, unless they need parts or something like that, or if they need some major help done, then we'll go help them out. And,
gotcha.
But other than that, it's whenever I get the chance to not race, I'll go up and if the boys race, and I'll go up there and help them out.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. That's neat that you guys get to do that together. Will that mean you're racing more? You yourself going to more races yet this year? Not as the Dells wraps up after this weekend, except for the Halloween stuff.
No, yeah, we'll be down at Rockford for their last Bahama brackets.
You going to race it?
Yes, I will.
All right, we got tickets to win that too. Come on out to the show tonight, next week.
Yep, and then after that, if all goes well after Rockford, we might take the car to Jefferson for their bracket race as well.
Aha.
So
a lot more racing for you then.
Yeah, hopefully, as long as the car stays clean and no damage, and we have fun.
Car looks great. You mentioned Tom Jasinski. You guys share a shirt with sponsors all over it.
Yep.
You got a race car that looks awesome. And you said Tom's one that kind of convinced you to do this. How much fun are you having with the crew you brought here tonight?
Oh, it's been a blast the last couple of years. Last year I'd set a goal of I just wanted to set fast time one time, and that was my main goal at all last year. And actually, I think it was opening night. We went out there and set fast time.
There you
so
go.
That was fun.
There you go.
It's fun having a crew that's always there and has as much fun as you do.
I know there's lights in our faces, but can you identify some or all of these people that are here with you tonight?
Well, I got my mom, my sister, my aunt, my sister's fiance, my uncle, my girlfriend, Tom's wife, Megan, Tom's wife, her dad. One of our sponsors is here, Uncle Brian from Center Court Sports Complex, along with Derek back there, my dad, my brother, my cousin Cody, and then the car owner. Jeff's right here. He's part car owner, and then Tom is also in the back by the door.
So if you're counting, you had no shoes on, your fingers are all used up. There's more people here than probably more of the weddings, most of the weddings you've been to in the last 10 years. It's kind of cool. You got this many people rolling. Are they all in the pits after the races? Are they all in the stands cheering you on?
Most of the time, if they're there, they're in the stands cheering me on, which is also fun. It's been a blast. I go out there usually after qualifying and just talk to them, and it's usually something wrong with the car during qualifying, and they're always telling me it's don't worry about it. You'll go out there and just run your race and do whatever, which is always good.
Yeah.
That confidence boost towards right before the heat race and in the feature.
So when you win fast time, you have to go on the front stretch. Do you ever get out and like mingle with these guys because they watch practice, they watch qualifying, they're going to give you some insights at the fence, or do you just stick by the car?
The one time I had fast time, I just stuck by the car.
All right.
Just stuck by myself.
Yeah.
So,
but you also have people behind you. We mentioned the people that are here. You also mentioned one of your sponsors. Who else is sponsoring your team this year?
Yeah, we got CED. We got Doormasters Garage Door Company, Center Court Sports Complex, the Crickabird Group Realty, Diamond Racing Wheels, Giltzer Electric, Athletes in Motion, Wisconsin Focus, Bailings, Performance Parts Supply, Fin and Fly Sports Fishing, Wabam, HPP Apparel, and then the DeVoys.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. It's been fun, and I'm glad they're all on board, and we were at least able to get a feature win for them this year.
And we're looking for another feature win this Friday night. We're looking to lock in second in points this Friday. We have a little bit of luck going with our show. When you come on the show,
we're all hoping for.
Yeah, we at least like to say we take credit. And not everybody wins a feature after they're on the show, but soon enough, it's a matter of just saying it's another way to just kind of take that moment and say, who's behind you? Okay, let's go do it for them kind of thing. So we wish you all the best in doing this Friday night. Hey, how about a hand for the whole gang here, guys? Thanks for coming down. There's a bunch of people. Brett Wahoviach has got his car out here. It's still there. It's black. It's kind of dimly lit in the parking lot of Polly's, but I guarantee if you're here in the next 10 minutes, or when he loads it up, you're going to have fun because he parked a little bit down the street. So he's going to have to get her down the street somehow. Hey, what I say for Brett. Thanks again for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Make sure you sign our Bob Trado sign right at Backdrop.
Alrighty.
We're back with Bill Holland. We're back to talk to you about next week. We're also going to talk to you about what happened in the world of NASCAR this week. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show. Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
It's the granddaddy of short track racing in the Midwest, the 54th running of the Oktoberfest race weekend, October 5, 6, 7, and 8 at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Don't miss the intense competition as drivers throughout the nation converge at La Crosse Speedway for 4 days of great stock car racing. On Thursday, see 6 divisions compete, including super late models, sportsmen, and double features for the La Crosse late models. Friday, 3 divisions will grind it out, including the super late models in the popular Dick Trickle 99, a 99-lap race run in 3 33-lap segments. Then on Saturday, it's 3 divisions, including the ASA Midwest Tour late models. And then it's the Big 8 late models battling for their season championship. Sunday we'll see the vintage race cars, late models, plus the granddaddy of all Midwest racing events, the Oktoberfest 200. 200 grueling laps of strategy, maneuvers, and hard-charging racing. Witness challengers and champions from across the nation battle side by side. It's the 54th annual Oktoberfest race weekend, October 5, 6, 7, and 8 at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Save with a multi-day wristband. Visit OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com for details and advance tickets. Be there.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express, moving and storage, will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
And we're back on the Racing Roundup program. This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Schlafer Auto Body and Sales in Lannon. They have 4 generations of racers to get the job done since 1974. Work trucks, personal cars, insurance, doesn't matter. All insurance companies, they work with all of them. Search their fine work on Facebook, Schlafer Auto Body. They do a car, truck, fleet, or work trucks, or motor coach. They can do it all. Schlafer Auto Body in Lannon is the right place to go for all of that stuff. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR report. Interstate Batteries are the #1 replacement battery in North America. Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin is a battery for every one of your needs. Interstate is a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. There will be a new driver in the #25 Rackley War Racing Chevy in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series to finish the season. Matt DiBenedetto and the team have gone separate ways. The last 3 races are at Talladega, Homestead, and Phoenix. Look for someone else to drive that #25 for the next 3 races. Last year's Truck Series champ Zane Smith will race in the Cup Series next year for Spire Motorsports in an agreement that he signed with Trackhouse Racing. Sounds like Trackhouse Racing is going to buy that charter from the number 78 Live Fast team that BJ McLeod and Matt Tift own. They're going to apply that to Zane Smith's car at Spire Motorsports, and then they're going to go racing with Trackhouse at some point with Zane Smith as one of their Cup drivers. Denny Hamlin on Saturday night beat one of your favorite drivers. That's what he said afterward, right? Yeah, he got booed just like you guys are booing now. It's crazy how he turned into the heel or something. I don't know. But we're getting boos here at Polly's for Denny Hamlin, just saying his name. He took the lead after pit stops and led the final 135 laps. Only his teammate Christopher Bell led more laps from the pole position in the 500-lapper. Second place finisher Kyle Larson was followed by Chris Buescher in third and Seabell in fourth. They all advanced into the next round of the playoffs. The drivers that did not advance didn't have the best of nights, and it really cost them. Eliminated from the playoffs after Bristol were Kevin Harvick in his final season, former two-time champ Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Michael McDowell. Justin Allgaier won their Friday night Xfinity Series race at Bristol, and in Victor Lane said, hey, I shouldn't have said anything yet, but I just signed my contract for next year. This is exciting. We won this race going away on strategy. I'm back with my boys next year. So that's kind of cool he got to do that. Allgaier's boss, Dale Earnhardt Jr. from Junior Motorsports, he got to race as well. He races one Xfinity race a year. It was at Bristol on Friday night. He led 47 laps, but his car was on fire, literally. He came to pit road after a good run, and he had to get the fire put out under the green flag conditions, pulled his car in, and his uniform at his right ankle area on the back of his heel area was singed from the fire coming through the boot area into the cockpit, so he was done. While racing in the top 10, a cut tire on Josh Berry's Chevy took him up the track and into his teammate Sam Mayer of Franklin. As they tangled and went up to the wall, so did their third teammate, Brandon Jones. So they all got knocked out of that one on a big-time deal, and that also put Sam Mayer below the cut line when it comes to Xfinity Series playoff standings on the NASCAR Xfinity Series side. In the race, Stratford's Derek Kraus raced the Kaulig Racing number 11 to 12th. Ryan Landis Parker Retzlaff scored 15th, and Menominee Falls resident Josh Blicky was scored 27th. I was on pit road work with the Fox Sports crew on Thursday night for the ARCA and the Truck Series races. William Swalch made a pass in traffic to beat Jesse Love in the ARCA race. That same thing happened in Christian Eckes when he got bottled up a little bit in traffic. Corey Heim with 6 laps to go scooted past him and went on to win the Bristol race on Thursday night in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. That locks him into the championship 4 at Phoenix. Milwaukee Mile Clean Harbor's 175 race winner Grant Enfinger ran third. Carson Quapple made his Truck Series debut in the Spire Motorsports 7 and finished a solid 12th. Ty Majeski had a fast truck, but a cut tire at stage 2 was ending, cost him a lap, and it was really kind of on from there. He ended up having one of the fastest laps of the race late in the going, but only finished up 19th in the rundown. That put him below the cut line for the Truck Series as well, with just 2 races to go before the championships decided. On Saturday, I was in the booth for the live stream with Tomav TV's coverage of the Toledo Speedway Glass City 200 ASA Stars National Tour race with Ralph Shaheen. Ty Majeski had his lead shrink in the points after a rare engine overheating issue, forced an early retirement. Majeski had got the lead, then they literally ran out of gas, and he got the lead in turn 2, came back around the next time around, turn 2. He ran out of gas and got punted from the rear and got spun to the infield. After that all shook out, stage 2 ended. Ty Majeski came to pit road under caution. Engine was cooked. He said, we're not going to risk it. They pulled in that motor issue, and overheating cost him a better finish. He ended up, I think, finishing 13th. So that's a big deal with only 2 races left in that championship. Recently reinstated by NASCAR, Noah Gragson returned to a race car cockpit at Toledo in the ASA Stars Super Late Model team. He went with them with Norks Wilkesboro. He also raced with them back last December at the Snowball Derby. The Rhett Jones Racing team had a really fast car. He qualified, never being at Toledo, within 2 1,000ths of quick qualifier Cole Butcher. But unfortunately had a cut tire down early in the race and was never a factor after pitting under green. The race winner was Jesse Love in a Donnie Wilson Racing Toyota. It was the ARCA Series point leader's first win in 2 appearances in the ASA Stars National Tour. Cole Butcher ran second with Chase Bird third. So another 1-2 finish for Donnie Wilson Racing in the ASA Stars Tour. Bubba Pollard ran fourth, and Richie Waters driver Andrique Demayuga from Mexico City ran fifth. Past show guest Austin Nason was sixth. Ty Majeski again scored 13th. On Sunday, I was in the booth for the 73rd Annual Lucas Oil Race of Champions 250 Modifieds on MAV TV. That was fun, live on TV again. The ground-pounding tour-type Modifieds put on a great show at the 3/8 Mile, Lake Erie Speedway in Pennsylvania. There were 2 dominant cars in the field of 26, NASCAR Xfinity Series team owner and driver Patrick Emmerling. He outraced Matt Hirschman, who won 8 of these Race of Champions 250s before. Moneyman Matt Hirschman had a fast car, but not the pace that Emmerling had late in the going. They could only change 1 tire per caution period, 4 tires, and the entire race, and it was crazy to see how the strategy worked. They changed the right rear a couple times. Some teams swapped left sides. Front and rear tires are the same size on those big beasts. It's cool to see that and have it play out, and Andy Jankowiak actually spun at one point, still ran third, in a car he built in his shop back in 2017. The NASCAR Xfinity and Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway this weekend, where home state sponsor Interstate Batteries is sponsoring 3 Joe Gibbs Racing cars. Ty Gibbs and Christopher Bell on the Cup side, and Trevor Bain in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Texas, their home track. Set your DVRs and support your local racing. We're going local racing right now with Bill Holland in the groove. He was recently covering every lap of the action at the Jim Sauter Classic at Dells Raceway Park.
Hi, I'm Bill Holland in the groove at Dells Raceway Park. We're here for the ASA Midwest Tour Jim Sauter Classic, honoring one of the very best to ever turn a lap here. It's a hot night on the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. There's a lot of tradition associated with this race and a lot of talent in the DRP pits. ASA Midwest Tour point leader Gabe Summers won this race a year ago with crew chief Travis Sauter.
Oh man, it was great. Kind of put everything together for us and our team, so that was a lot of fun. It meant a lot. It's the biggest win of my career, so hopefully we do it again.
The big guns are here tonight. NASCAR Truck Series Championship contender and ASA Stars National Tour point leader Ty Majeski, ARCA East contender Luke Fenhaus, hard-charging John DeAngelis Jr., very strong here at DRP, and the familiar Black 36, a new face, 14-year-old Ty Fredrickson, son of two-time Midwest Tour champ Dan Fredrickson.
We come here to make some laps, clean laps, and I want to run the tour full-time next season, so we're seeing how we can do.
Top local entries include current DRP Pro late model point leader Mike Litchfield.
Yeah, defend the home turf, have a good run. It usually seems like we kind of have some not so good luck when these guys come to town, so a win in our book today is going to be finishing all 200 laps and seeing where that takes us.
In qualifying, it's the 17 of Max Kaler with fast time. He's coming off a strong run at Madison 1 week ago.
Yeah, just excited to get my first fast time. Unfortunately, now we have to pass everybody in the race, but hopefully we can be there at the end and have a shot to win.
The Midwest Truck Series is on the card with Jason Stark in the 81 and James Swan in the 97 on the high side, leading the field to the green flag for the first of 50 laps. It's tough duty chasing down Swan. Nobody's got more wins or championships in the history of this series, but Chester Ace is right there in the 93. And we're under caution. Tyler Sauter in the Nick Quinnell number 5 truck. Restart with 20 laps to go has James Swan and Chester Ace side by side, ready to resume the battle for the lead. And it all breaks loose behind the leaders. Jason Stark, fast qualifier Weston Marthaler in the 100, Aaron Moyer's 140, Bryce Miller's 11. This will bring out the red flag for the cleanup. Back to green, and it's Swan and Ace battling right down to the last lap. Coming to the checkers, it's James Swan, first to the finish line at Dells Raceway Parks.
Give Chester the bottom, and I knew that I didn't have anything on the bottom, and I was hoping he didn't either, and as it worked out, that's the way it was. But what stands out the most is the people in the stands over there. There are a lot of people here. That was pretty awesome to see that many people here on a hot day.
Jordan DeVoy in the 37 and veteran Pete Moore in the 76 leading the way as the 602 Outlaw late models take the green for their main event. The battle for the lead sees the 37 and 76 get together in front of the entire field. We have cars everywhere. Caution is out. On the restart, trouble for young Alex Hartwig in the 901. Front end damage will put him out of the race. Minnesota's John Lemke has been very fast this year in the 5 car. But Tanner Berge in the 35 is on the move and takes over the top spot. This is Berge's first year in full-size race cars, and he is learning on the fly, taking the checkers in the 602 Outlaw feature.
The only experience I've ever had racing before is like rental go-karts and iRacing. So this is completely different. It's awesome to be doing this good.
3-time State Park Speedway champion Justin Mondyke in the 44 and Kulwicki driver development racer Riley Stengham in the 77 lead the field to the green, and the Jim Sauter Classic 200 is underway. Spin in 4. It's Ty Majeski, the all-time Midwest Tour wins leader. He goes around and the caution is out. And Luke Fenhaus will go to the back of the pack along with Majeski. Back to green flag racing, and Tristan Swanson in the black 91 takes the lead from Stengham. This is Swanson's first Midwest Tour race this season, only his second run in this car this year. Trouble on the 4 car. Luke Fenhaus slows. The caution is out. He will head to the pits. And the 77 has a problem. Riley Stengham is stalled on the racetrack and out of the race. We'll restart with Tristan Swanson and Max Taylor on the front row. Can one of these young guns capture their first Midwest Tour feature win tonight? We're under caution again. Big damage to Barrett Polhima's 79 car. And the attrition continues. Ryan Farrell slows in the 80. Going back to green with Luke Fenhouse and Max Taylor on the front row. Fenhouse stayed on the track while everyone else pitted during the last caution. Luke Fenhouse has been very good here at Dells Raceway Park. He leads Kaler, Swanson, Mike Litchfield on the high side, and Ty Majeski, who's raced his way through the field. Majeski on the move, taking the second spot from Max Taylor. The 91 looks like the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Fenhouse holding the inside line. Ty Majeski looking to the high side. Two of the best battling it out right here. Majeski takes the lead. No one has won more Midwest Tour races than Ty Majeski, and he'll add the Jim Sauter Classic to that list. After 200 laps, it's Majeski first to the finish at Dells Raceway Park.
It's cool to finally win the third one of the trifecta with the Joe Shear race with the Weirs Trophy with the models, and we have the Larry Degens and now this one. So it's pretty cool. I don't know that anybody's done that yet, so it's a fun race tonight.
For the Midwest Tour's all-time wins leader, it's another victory in a marquee event as Ty Majeski takes his very first Jim Sauter Classic. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who makes our program possible. We'll see you next time we go in the groove on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks, Bill Holland. Great stuff again, as always, on the program. We're looking forward to Bill's installment next week. That's our final show next week. We want to thank tonight's guest, Brett Wahoviach. Thank you for coming down, everybody. Let's give him a hand. Dan Roach for coming tonight. Casey Cody and Brady Vanderloop, thank you guys for coming from Ken Sports. I want to thank Jamie Zeider and his dad, Tony, coming from American Foundation Specialists as well. We've had a lot of fun with you guys tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing you next Tuesday for our final show of our 39th season. Believe it or not, it's already here. 26 weeks have flown past. We're going racing with you guys one more time next Tuesday night, where we're going to have Bobby Gutneck with Mill Creek Automotive. John Wood will be here for the Midwest Truck Series. We're also going to have our final installment of the Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight. We have great tickets to give away next Tuesday as well, including a 4-day pass to Oktoberfest in La Crosse. That's a big weekend, October 5th through 8th. We'll also have tickets to win the Bahama Brackets at Rockford Speedway. Got those to give away after the show next week as well, and lots of prizes, including a Kowicki diecast. You haven't seen many of those around lately. Thanks to Greenfield's Gallery Sales on Facebook, we have a 124th still in the box. We're giving that away next week, among a lot of other prizes that we're going to give away after the show next Tuesday. So please tell your friends to join us here next Tuesday at Polly's. Until then, set your DVRs, have at it, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week here at the Racing Roundup Show headquarters.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Like our show on Facebook and share our show with your friends. Follow and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. To listen and watch our shows on demand, visit our website, racingroundupshow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks. Set your DVRs. Have at it, racers.